I'm a PhD student at the Faculty of Economics and Management at Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń. I prepared the PhD dissertation related to cryptocurrencies, and today I want to present the results of empirical study research and related to cryptocurrencies. In the first part, I would like to tell you about the methodology that was used in that study. Then I will move on to challenges for the Polish and European payment services market. Then I will present the particular area of application of the cryptocurrencies in the Polish financial sector. After that, I will present some scenarios for development of cryptocurrencies, and I will summarize the presentation. Today, I want to tell you about the project that was conducted under the Warsaw Institute of Banking. The project was called Development Through Innovation, or the Effect of Scale. The survey among the Polish payment system participants. It was conducted by the team of 3 people, led by Mr. Michał Polasik, and I was also a team member. The project was carried out from June to December 2014 and consisted of 2 parallel surveys. The first one was related to institutions and asked for official statements of the institutions. So we asked the presidents of management boards of commercial, cooperative banks and of the clearing agents. The Association of Polish Banks cooperated with us and helped us to collect the opinions from as many banks as was possible. The acceptance network participated as well. So we had 24 commercial banks, 11 cooperative banks and associated banks, and 10 clearing agents and institutions that process payments. So the banks that we asked to provide answers to the questions had more than 90% of the market share, and the clearing agents had more than 80% of the market share. The second parallel survey was dedicated for the experts, and we asked experts for their individual private opinions. The banks, the institutions, gave us lists and names of people whom they perceive as experts relevant to the subject matter. So we asked over 70 experts who represent opinions that are very diversified and representatives of a widely understood clearing and payment areas in Poland. The first question that we asked was related to challenges in the Polish payment sector. And we had 2 time perspectives. One was 2015, and in case of this time frame, experts did not foresee the development of cryptocurrencies as a challenge for them. In the last point here, only some experts from the banking environment saw the development of cryptocurrencies as a challenge for banking sector. The perception of cryptocurrencies as a challenge changed in the longer time frame, where 32% of the respondents saw the development of cryptocurrencies as a challenge for the Polish financial sector. The results of the broader market and the broader perspective of the European payment services market is different. 12% 81% of respondents in that market pointed to cryptocurrencies as a significant challenge for the European financial sector. So in the perspective of 2020, which was surprising, the representatives of the banking sector in particular, they showed the development of cryptocurrencies as the second most important challenge for this sector. So the banking experts perceive in the longer time frame the cryptocurrencies as an important challenge. The second question related to the application, the area of application of cryptocurrencies in the Polish financial sector. So our respondents were asked to provide a more detailed opinion. Here we see a lot of skepticism, and the answers are given here where 1 means just a marginal application and 5 means widespread application. We need to notice that there is a group of experts who answered with the values 5 or 4, who foresee the common widespread use of cryptocurrencies, let's say in transfers or e-commerce transactions or in the physical sales point, which is interesting. Perhaps this is why the banks pay attention to Bitcoin as a potential area for possible solutions. When it comes to the possible scenario for development of cryptocurrencies, the experts were asked to provide evaluation of the particular scenario. So, whether cryptocurrencies will gain importance in the economy, the negative opinions are more prevailing. Only 28% of the respondents said that Bitcoin will develop dynamically. The question, will cryptocurrencies be a threat to stability of banking sector? The answers were really different from one another. And will the cryptocurrencies be included in the legal framework? The prevailing answers were positive. The experts were also asked to precisely say whether the cryptocurrencies will be used for payments or for investment. 48% of the respondents indicated the investment-related application. 31% of the respondents emphasized the payment function of the cryptocurrencies. The next question was related to perspective of application of cryptocurrencies in the financial sector. 90% of the respondents said that the cryptocurrencies will not be present in the banking offer. And that answer, the answer to that question changes with a longer time perspective. Here, for this question, there could have been multiple answers, and in payment transactions performed by the banking sector, the cryptocurrencies were perceived as potentially having their place on the market. For example, for the cross-border transactions. So it was conceived that the banks could develop products for the cross-border trade using the cryptocurrency technology. Let's summarize. Firstly, we see that the financial sector starts to perceive Bitcoin as a threat or a challenge for their activity, especially in the European area. Cryptocurrencies will probably not be present in the product offer of the banks because they are not easily applicable in the direct product offer. Nevertheless, the technology can be used to improve selected areas of the bank activities, for example, cross-border transfers. Thank you very much for the attention, and I'm giving the floor back to you. Let's have some questions, ladies and gentlemen. You used the words Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies interchangeably. So what was it precisely in your research? The research covered cryptocurrencies, and in our questions we mentioned cryptocurrencies, for example Bitcoin. We didn't know what knowledge our respondents have about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That's why we decided this way. Have you asked about blockchain as a technology? No, we didn't. There was no question related strictly to the use of the blockchain as technology. Are you planning to have a follow-up research? Because 2 years in this area is a long time. 2 years ago, nobody had discussions like that, like this one about blockchain. Right now, we are having discussions. Let's realize that in order to conduct research like that one on a representative sample of banking experts is a really difficult enterprise because we needed to get a lot of institutions involved. So yes, we are planning to repeat the study, but I don't know when yet. Let me have a comment. I'm from the Association of Polish Banks. Bitcoin for the banking sector has unfortunately two disadvantages. The banking sector is based on two pillars, creation of money and loans. If we don't have Bitcoin in our wallet, we won't buy anything. So this first function is eliminated right now, and there is no loan capabilities now either. And these limitations of Bitcoin, we're not covering here other cryptocurrencies because there are cryptocurrencies on the market that make it possible to do the loans operations. Right now, they are very little popular. This research seems to be misleading in the way that the word cryptocurrencies had this example of Bitcoin added. In my opinion, I think this research was very valuable. But I think that discussion whether the banks will adopt Bitcoin ends up with an answer that they won't, because it seems that this is a competitive idea for them. It is in the reality banks don't understand this technology. You are saying that the creation of money is a positive thing. Well, I wasn't saying that it is positive. I said that it is a pillar on which the banking sector is based. So we cannot print Bitcoin. So it seems that you perceive creation of money like a positive aspect. Well, Bitcoin makes it possible to perform the payments, and we will not avoid the technology development. We will not block it. There are various technologies that enter the financial market, and we know very well that the speed of transfer is important for the clients. But the Bitcoin as such, in the form that it is today, has these two disadvantages. So if you're asking why the banking sector expert gave the answers as they did, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that Bitcoin is bad. Let me finish, please. we noticed the development of technology, and we realized that together with the development of technology, an electronic medium needs to be created, because we want to enable the functions that are still missing on the market. For example, for electronic payments. That's it. I am from the Polish bank PKO BP, and I will support colleague. The banks are interested in this technology, and there are official analyses of emission banks that are looking into it. For example, the Santander invested in the platform that allows cross-border transactions more quickly than the traditional ones, maybe not within the same day and not as quickly as Bitcoin allows it. Nevertheless, it is being examined. I asked about the blockchain because the stock exchanges are now looking into this topic to decrease the transaction costs significantly and use it for optimization. Let me add that from the scientific point of view, in the literature, there is a possibility that if the development of the Bitcoin market stabilizes Bitcoin exchange rate to the traditional currencies, the banks could start receiving deposits and give loans in Bitcoin and use the standing facility mechanism to then launch the multiplier to create Bitcoins. And then it would be creation of the cashless money that would be possible. Right now with the current exchange rates, this is not possible. Let's remember that the money has to be in the wallet in order to transfer it to someone else. We cannot say, look, let's convince you that right now you have 10% more money than just before if the money doesn't exist. Let me have this discussion now finalized. Let's continue this in the break. Thank you, Mrs. Piotrowska.